Hi everybody, I'm Jack Buffington and I'm the Program Director and Professor for Supply Chain at the University of Denver. First, I'd like to thank everybody for participating in this mentoring program. First off, I'd like to thank the mentors. We all know how busy you are, especially with what's going on right now in business. So you helping out our students and helping them understand their careers and giving advice based on what you've learned over the years is very much appreciated. I'd also like to thank our students because, under these times, you're concerned and you're worried, and the best thing you can obviously do is to do something about it. So spending time with these mentors is something that's really going to pay off as we roll into the fall quarter and you start to think about what's next for you as a junior or senior. I'm here today to talk to you about this topic called structured problem solving. And if you've taken any of my classes, you know that we spend a lot of time talking about structured problem solving, and especially given what's going on today in the world, being a problem solver is going to be so important in your career. This is what companies are looking for. I always tell students that in times like this is the best opportunities for people to step up, and this is great for your career. So what is a structured problem solving approach, and how can you become a structured problem solver? And this is something that we want you to talk about with your mentors this week. And it's an interesting time, right? So you can think about all the possibilities, all the issues that are needed when it comes to healthcare and supply chain and all of these fields, medicine, pharmaceuticals, on how companies need to look at things in a different manner. As a lot of you know, I work in the field of supply chain, so structured problem solving is so important, first and foremost, to keep our people safe, to make sure that people in manufacturing and logistics go home safe in the same condition that they came to work in. Also to make sure our customers are safe, the products that we make are of high quality and of safety, but all the other things that happen in the supply chain. So at one point in my job, I ran the world's largest brewery from a logistics standpoint, and we had 500 trucks that would go in and out of the brewery in a day. You can imagine all the problems that can happen in an operation like that. So using structured approaches is really important in order to be able to solve those problems. But you can think about all the different things in your career, or the things that you face as a consumer. How does Amazon get a package to you in next day shipping? Or how do these big global supply chains work where products are shipped all over the world? All of these things require very good structured approaches as well as alignment with people. So we use this approach at the University of Denver called DeMAC, which focuses on how to look at a problem. The first step, what you want to do, is define the problem. You can't solve a problem unless you know what problem you're trying to solve for. And in a lot of cases in business, people try to solve one problem and end up going down a different path, and they end up not solving the problem. So the first step in structured problem solving is knowing what problem you want to solve for. So what I always tell my students is making it in a very concise one sentence statement that's measurable. Once you have that clear problem definition, the next step is to gather data. In supply chain and in a lot of other fields, we focus on quantitative, analytical, data-driven decisions, right? We're making these big decisions for companies. We can't make them based on opinions or anecdotes or things like that. It needs to be driven based on data. So that's another very important part. The next very important part of a problem-solving approach. Once you have the data, you have to be able to analyze that data. You need to look at the data in multi-dimensions. You need to use statistical techniques and all these different types of approaches to figure out what the data is telling you. Once you have that analysis, then you can put together recommendations and you can move forward. We're going to find that these methods are going to become increasingly important in a post-COVID world where companies are going to be challenged with making profits, staying in business, being able to service their customers, being able to, in a hospital, being able to take care of their patients. These methods are going to be more important than they've ever been in the past. So I believe that no matter what your major is at the University of Denver, that this is going to be crucial to your career development. And when you talk to employers about this, and you can have this conversation with your mentor, this is something that appeals to the companies that you're going to be interviewing with. So you can have this conversation with your mentor and say, is this something that would be important in your company? And how have you used structured problem solving in order to solve problems for your company? One thing that our dean of the business school has mentioned often is that we're teaching students for jobs that haven't been defined yet. So there's a job that you may be doing 10 or 20 years from now that isn't even defined today. And so the question would be is how do we train a student, or how does a company train somebody for a job that is out in the future that's unknown? And how we do that is by teaching people to become problem solvers. And companies want people to be problem solvers because this is going to make their business be more successful when it comes to being more profitable, earning more revenue. So first and foremost, I really appreciate you guys spending time with our students, and part of helping them is helping them understand what it means to get things done in companies and be a problem solver. So thanks a lot. I hope you enjoy the conversation this week, and thanks for all that you do.